It is the video that has a lot of people talking. A pack of motorcyclists surrounding and then going after a driver in New York who had bumped one of their crew after that biker brake checked him. The driver takes off, running over in the process one of the cyclists. The pack eventually catches up, beats the man driving the SUV in front of his wife and young child. Now, the motorcyclist that was run over is in intensive care right now, reportedly with 2 broken legs and other serious injuries. Here's what happened Sunday afternoon after the pack of motorcycle riders drove up alongside that black SUV. We've highlighted the guy in white. Watch as he pulls in front of the SUV, then slows down, causing it to hit him. Matter of fact, the guy in the motorcycle filming it actually goes out of the frame. He passes him so bad. You can kind of see it as the guy in the camera speeds by. That led to this. This is the video we've all seen. The bikers surrounding the SUV, causing it to stop. And then for some reason, we don't know specifically why, the driver floors it, breaking away from the pack, and in the process running over one rider. The pack chases the SUV for another 4 minutes, eventually stopping him a second time. He gets caught in traffic. During this stop, you'll see one biker ran up. It's reportedly the biker that got bumped opened the door for a moment. He says he was trying to get the keys out of the ignition. The SUV driver takes off again, knocking a second cyclist to the ground, and the chase is on one more time. 2 minutes later, the bikers catch up to the SUV. This time, he was caught in traffic. One rider begins smashing the driver's window with his helmet, while a second guy who got off a bike tries to bust out the back window using his fists. Today, the biker who tried to open the SUV door and the man seen smashing the window tried to explain things from their point of view.
2 minutes prior to that, this guy almost took my life from me. And I'm the aggressor because I smashed the window.
In the beginning, it was a genuine accident. What he did, what the Range Rover driver did, was an act of road rage.
Christopher Cruz, the biker who pulled in front of the SUV and started all of this, was arraigned today on charges of reckless endangerment and unlawful imprisonment. As of now, no other charges have been filed because police have not been able to interview the driver of the Range Rover.
All right, Steve, I wish we'd have had a picture-in-picture because Gary's in here shaking his head like, I cannot believe that this is going on. This is Gary Scythe, an avid motorcyclist, and I think we've all seen here in North Texas, Gary, we've seen the packs on the tollway and on 75, you know, where they kind of go down and they block traffic. Lots of us have been part of that. Before we get into locally, talk about this. Talk about your first reaction when you saw this.
I'm gritting my teeth. I think we're all in the same boat with this. I mean, that's just incredulous. They're trying to enforce the law. I understand that they mentioned that they felt that this SUV, this man in the SUV, road rage. Right. And it's a reaction. It's not their entitlement to enforce the law. Teach a lesson. It's just, that's not your right.
I think all of us, when we watch it, are just like you and I standing in here going, we can't believe that this is going on. In this kind of pack mentality, well, first of all, have you ridden with a bunch of bikers before? You've been in groups.
I have, not in that big a group.
Okay.
And there can be some machismo. If you look at these bikes, they're highly evocative. They're very testosterone driven. I mean, that's very purposely built that way to catch the potential buyer to get into this.
Sure, it's red, it's flashy, it's good looking, you ride, you have a good time, but you ride safe, and there's a difference. When we look at that video, it doesn't look like these bikers are riding safe.
Well, no, and they're trying to, like you said, the pack mentality is there.
Yeah, what are they doing? What's the goal here?
You know, the idea is that if anyone's been on a motorcycle long enough, you likely have been caught off in traffic before. Face it, a big SUV, a big semi, it's easier to see. A motorcycle that weighs 400 pounds that is just like 1/5 the size, you don't see it. And we've got a number of blind spots in any vehicle. You're going to get overlooked, and you likely will get cut off at some point in time. But it's not your responsibility to enforce the law. But, okay, he said, she said, or you violated my space.
Yeah, let's chase down this driver, grab his keys until the cops get here, which is what?
That's a 4,900-pound Range Rover.
Right.
And this 400-pound bike is not going to compare to it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Well, yeah, but you get in that, again, it's that pack mentality, and you're revved up. You mentioned the testosterone. You're charged up. Let's talk about locally. Let's say that you're in an SUV on the tollway. You've a Sunday drive. This guy's celebrating his anniversary. He's got his 2-year-old in the vehicle with him and his wife. I kind of wonder how many people here in Texas would just drive off. They'd probably just sit there and take care of the situation.
I think 10 out of 10 people would say they've done the same exact thing. That's your baby, that's your wife, that's your life that's endangered. You don't know what they're doing. You've got a lot of people, maybe some young guys, some older guys. There's a lot of bravado with motorcycling,
right,
as we had mentioned, and I think that when there's enough of you together, it makes it okay.
Right.
And it's about makes it okay.
Well, you know, on our Facebook page, and what I'm alluding to without saying it is a lot of people have a CHL. You know, they've got a gun in the vehicle. You've got it's not a safe situation when everybody gets fired up. You've got a dad protecting his family. You've got this group of dozens of bikers. It's flat out scary. So what are we supposed to do? I'm in my car. What do you as a biker suggest I do?
You know, it comes down to common courtesy. I mean, what I'm going to say is certainly intuitive to anybody else. It's common courtesy. I don't like it, and I've been in the same situation in my vehicle when I watch a bunch of motorcyclists come in and just kind of own the road. There's one thing, they want to be safe. They, of course, want to be noticed so that they're not endangered, but they tend to own the road then. You've got to make way. Make way. I've got a number of guys that ride with me. We make sure you go first. You know, the courtesy is there to try maybe, have a guy like me on this, maybe giving some better treatment out there, putting better treatment out there compared to what you have seen when a guy's flying by at 75 miles an hour in a wheelie, cutting you off in your car.
Showboating, and then people are just out doing their drive. Now, you might have a bit of a different situation too, because you've been in an accident. You know what it's like. I mean, you got pretty hurt a couple of years ago.
I did. I was actually at a racetrack, which is nice because it takes away all the elements of the road. So you can really exercise these bikes to do what they do and really kind of hone your skills when it comes to counter steering, how to turn the bike, and maybe in a situation when you're on the road, how to avoid a dog running through, or there's this pothole you didn't see and you can counter the pothole. But yeah, I ended up wrecking my motorcycle and got pretty badly injured with it, and I was care flighted to the hospital because I was knocked out.
Oh my gosh.
Broke a couple ribs and my shoulder blade, even with protection on.
Really?
So it's definitely dangerous, but maybe, as many guys allude to, many women allude to, that's kind of half the intrigue to it.
Yeah, until you're hurt, like this guy sitting in the hospital, and you might be paralyzed. And then, but how do you teach that to the young guys? Do they need to go through these courses, because you do have that feeling of invincibility and it's not going to happen to me and that sort of thing?
Really, I'll tell you what's kind of neat is you get onto meetup.com. There's a number of organizations that meet through meetup.com that will fit if you're a cruiser, if you're the kind of guy that rides a touring bike or say a sport bike. You can find groups that get together, and I know a couple out of McKinney and out of Plano. The older guys that are more experienced teach the younger guys what to do. And if you're kind of intimidated by this, because it can be very intimidating, it's great to have older guys that have more experience, 20, 30 years under their belt doing this, teach you what to do to give you that kind of that education that we all could use to ride these things safely is the way they're meant to be.
Well, and some of these younger guys are squids. Is that the name for what they're called? I'm learning my biker lingo.
A squid. Yeah, I'll tell you, a guy like me, I like to wear protection. I've got some racing boots on. I don't happen to have anything on my pants, but you see guys that wear shorts, a tank top, and flip-flops doing 100 miles an hour down the street. You don't want to meet the pavement with your skin.
No.
You'll look like a squid.
That's where it comes from. No. Take Gary's advice. Don't be a squid. Get out there, get experience, and ride safe. I think the people on the bikes and the people in the cars as well, cars and trucks, just move over if you have to, take a breath, and everybody get home safely.
It's easy as that.
All
Well,
right.
yeah, it's
sounds easy.
It sounds
easy until you're out for a Sunday drive and look around and there's all the bikers. Gary, thank you
Hey, it's a pleasure.
for coming in.
Good to see you,
Appreciate it.
Heather.
I do like your bike.
Thank you very
I do
much.
know how to ride.
I
as a
just
matter
had
of
it
fact.
waxed.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.